And yeah, here's part two. I'm gonna go over the undercard of Shark Bites pretty quick. Eric Davila beat Pete Spratt by guillotine choke. I was hyping Pete Spratt in the predictions a lot, so sucks that he lost. I picked him to win, but yeah, I mean he usually loses by submission, but he did get. I think he got taken down a couple times actually. Seeing him get dropped like that, near the end of the fight, then guillotine, it's like, oh, Sprat, I think I've seen this happen to you before. So it's kind of deja vu-ous. Daniel Strauss beat Karen Darabedian. I picked Darabedian to win, but Strauss won by unanimous decision. Not good for Darabedian at all. He looked good in the WC for like beating McCullough, but he's lost like 3 straight now. Aaron Rosa beat Devin Cole. Good win for Rosa. Hope to see him in a Strikeforce ring or cage sometime soon. Ronnie Mann got a split decision over Doug Evans for the featherweight title, if I'm not mistaken. I picked him to win, so good win for him. Paul Bradley rear naked choked Johnny Reese. I picked Paul Bradley. I know he was in the UFC for a while. I forgot if it was him or Kyle Bradley that pretty much got knocked out by like Chris Lytle and then lost to Matt Brown and stuff like that. So good to see him win in these smaller shows. Onto the main card though. Tarek Safdien won a unanimous decision over Brock Larson. Man, Safdien, I hyped the guy up in my predictions. He's living up to this hype, man. This guy, I mean, he was beating Larson everywhere. Beat him in the standoff. Oh, he wanted to clinch against a cage. I mean, Larson, he was pretty much backing up against the cage like the whole time. So it was really bad strategy on his part. But man, it's like, when you're on top of the wrestler like throughout most of the fight, it's like, you must be pretty good. Larson's pretty seasoned. Tarek Safdien's still really young. He's like what, 24. Man, great future for this guy. Like I said, I see him pretty highly. I hope to see him at the challenger shows and onto the big shows sooner rather than later. I mean, this guy is definitely a prospect to watch out for. Very impressive, Tarek Safdien. Next fight after that is Daniel Villafort beating Joey Villasenor by unanimous decision. I picked Villasenor to win by experience, but Villafort looked really good. He definitely time Joey Villasenor and get the takedown. He'd work half guard really well from the top. Sometimes he'd hold him down, but like I can tell there are little things that Villafort was doing to pass guard and whatnot. So I was really impressed by him. He even dropped him. I want to say in the 3rd round. Villafort dropped Villasenor. Wouldn't be surprised to see Villafort back in the UFC. I know he lost to like Jesse Lennox, but otherwise, it's like you lose one fight and then you get cut, and then now you're coming off a pretty big win over a very solid guy, Joey Villasenor. One thing about Villasenor is he's pretty much like, I call him like the gatekeeper to the middleweight division of Strikeforce, which is and they have a pretty strong middleweight division too. If you can beat Villasenor, you pretty much deserve to fight like top guys in Strikeforce. So it's Villafort beat a really solid guy. I always found Villasenor to be a pretty solid fighter. So and he's young too. So hopefully we get to see Daniel back into the big shows. He looked pretty good. He looked solid. He looked really solid actually. Next fight after that was Paul Daly beating Jorge Masvidal by unanimous decision. I picked Daly to win. He probably should have won a lot easier than he did. He had the 1st round. Masvidal got the 2nd, and Paul Daly managed to eke out the 3rd, even getting a takedown of his own. But Masvidal, he's a big lightweight. Might even make a permanent move to welterweight. That's just the rumors I heard. But when you're getting taken, when you're getting taken down like that, you know, it kind of shows how, like, in a way, it's a bit one-dimensional of Daly. You know, he got pretty far just being a striker. You know, with some, you know, pretty good takedown defense. I just gotta wonder, since it's a small show, maybe he didn't train as hard as he needed to or something. I don't know, but you know, it's just you know, you would think that Daly would make short work of Masvidal, considering he's like, you know, this is a guy who beat like Martin Kampmann, you know, Dustin Hazlett, you know, pretty much like KO'd or TKO'd them, you know. But of course, Hazlett came in with a terrible strategy against Daly, and Kampmann came in with a terrible strategy against Daly as well. So, you know, definitely he needs to work on his takedown defense. Daly can definitely see him. If Dana will take him back, I would think Daly can go to the UFC. If not, man, Strikeforce should welcome Daly with open arms. I mean, Daly, Nick Diaz, Daly, KJ Nance, be really good fights. The other thing is, though, he needs to make, Syntax really needs to make weight. This isn't the first time he hasn't made weight, you know, or struggled to make weight. So, I mean, he's really got to do something about that, too. And next fight after that is Houston Alexander beating Sokoudjou by TKO. Yeah, I picked Sokoudjou to win. It's the same story with Sokoudjou too, you know. He looks explosive and crazy in the first couple minutes, and then if you reach the second round with this guy, he just falters bad. Real bad. I don't know what it is, if he's too muscular. I mean, he had a reach advantage and whatnot. I saw him do a judo throw on Alexander. I mean, he got him on wobbly legs in the first round. I don't know if he just doesn't know how to pace himself or what. There's just something with Sokoudjou. He just can't put it all together or something, you know. Houston Alexander, you know, it's nice to see somebody old Houston Alexander, you know, not the one that fought Kimbo Slice and was like totally tentative, you know. So it was nice to see him, you know, see his crazy barrages and whatnot. Obviously, there's the headbutts in the first round that were that were not cool. I mean, he did some headbutts, you know, that was, you know, it's against the rules. He didn't even really need to do them either. I mean, like, you know, Sokoudjou was pretty open for ground and pound and elbows or, like, you know, just, you know, punches. So it's not like he needed to really headbutt him anyways. Yeah, Sokoudjou's still young, but, you know, he just needs to work on stuff. I mean, he just, with him, it's mainly like his cardio or something. It just, I can't really pinpoint it. His striking's pretty good. Defensively, you know, I mean, he's not, like, the worst defensively. It's not like I don't necessarily see him blocking punches with his chin or something, you know, like Luis Cane or someone like that, you know, or like David Heath, you know. You know, his judo is great if he can get a hold of you, but, you know, he's just, I don't know. I don't know if he just can't put it all together. But speaking of not putting it all together, Trevor Prangley beat Keith the Dynamite Jardine by split decision in the main event of Shark Fights 13. 5 losses in a row for Jardine. I mean, what do you say? I mean, all of these losses, yeah, they're to tough guys, but they're progressively getting lower and lower in a way. You know, it's like, okay, you lose to Rampage. Okay, you lose to Thiago Silva. Okay, you lose to Bader. Okay, you lose to Hamill. Okay, you lost to Prangley. I don't know if with Jardine he needs some tune-up fights or to kill, you know, beat up some cans or something. But, like, you know, 5 losses in a row. Yes, it was the good competition. But, you know, something, you know, he's in his mid-30s now. See, you know, I don't know if he'll go back to the UFC, even though I think the UFC likes him. The other thing is, you know, maybe he can get a Strikeforce contract if he gets a couple wins under his belt or something. But yeah, not a Not good for the Dynamine. Good one by Prangley, though. You know, he's coming off a loss over Tim Kennedy. Good comeback win, especially in 205 too. Jardine's a pretty big 205er too. I think he's like 6'2" or something. I used to fight as a heavyweight too, so you know, good win by Prangley. You know, what can you say? You know, bad loss by Jardine though, man. I mean, just total fall from grace here. So yeah, that's it for the predictions of MFC 26 Retribution and Shark Fights 13. If you have any questions, you can either leave some comments or go to the CND channel at gmail.com. So yeah, but also finally, please visit our sponsor, GoBusiness123.com. For all your needs and resume building, business consultation, and job postings, you know. So yeah, for all those needs, all you need to do is go to
GoBusiness123.com.
What's that? What's going on here? Okay, I guess we're done, guys. I might be done too, guys. Later.